Hello, welcome. Today I have with me Bren, Seth. How are you?
I'm doing good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great, and we've got a couple of things to talk about, but I think it all starts with the Cupra Cup that you have participated in recently. You teaming up with CarlJr like the good old days and getting second place in the French LAN. With Trackmania World Tour not delivering on LANs yet, you seem to jump at every opportunity to compete in person. How was that? How was the Cupra Cup? How was teaming up with CarlJr?
The whole event was nice. Like the qualies were pretty flawless. Same goes with the event there. It was good money as well, so that's the reason why we took it pretty seriously. Yeah, it was nice playing with Carl as well. Like we haven't played together since Zerator Cup, I think. So it was a good experience. We had fun, and yeah, it was overall pretty cool.
I mean, speaking of the Zerator Cup, there is like another set of LANs on the horizon organized by no other than Zerator. The Ascension is a very big Ascension. Do I remember the name right? I think so.
Yeah, that's the name. That's the name.
It's a very big project that I feel will take the Trackmania world by storm. How excited are you for that event? I've seen that you tweeted about it once.
Okay, if I'm gonna be completely honest, I wasn't hype at all at
No?
first. Like, cause um, for some reason I expected to have like a break from Zerita Cup, like not completely the end, but just a break, like for 1 or 2 years, which was the thing I hoped for, pretty much. So I'm not so excited about the event. Obviously, I'll participate. I'll stream a lot. It's still a great opportunity, and I'll be having fun playing it. And I'll try my hardest to be like at the LAN events, like on the stages. But so far, I'm not that excited. I'm pretty sure it will come with time and like the whole hype around it and stuff like that.
Interesting. Out of curiosity, because for Cupra Cup you have teamed up with CarlJr. Now you're, of course, in K Corp with Otak. For the Ascension, would you be teaming up with CarlJr again, or would you stay with Otak?
I haven't heard all the details about the event, but I think it's solo.
Oh, is
But
it
if
solo?
yeah, I think so. I think so. From what he said, from what I heard, pretty much,
Hmm.
he said it's solo. I think. But if it was duo, I would obviously ask Otak
Hmm.
first because we are teammates.
Of course.
Like we have a contract
Yeah.
mentioning that we should play together in a way, and I'd be happy to participate with him anyways. And only if he doesn't agree to play with me, I would ask Carl, and that's probably only if Pac doesn't want to play with him as well. So honestly, I would play with Otak. I would be happy to play with Carl as well, but that's just not the first option, I believe.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I didn't think of the option that it might be solo. Like, I just assumed that we are now in the new 2v2 era. But I guess, yeah,
Yeah, well,
that
the
that
the storytelling would be pretty nice if I play with Carl again, of course, like because of the past events. But no, I would probably play with Otak, which would be nice as well, of course. But that would be just something new, in a way.
then we'll see how it all unfolds in the future. But coming back to the story of recent events, first Super Week you have called in sick. We assume it's probably due to Cupra Cup, but could you tell us like what was happening there a bit more?
Yeah, I can explain, of course. So basically, I assume it was from Cupra Cup as well. Maybe even my trip to go there, if I'm to be honest, because there was some
Hmm.
lady coughing like crazy behind me, and it wasn't the greatest. So I was fine there, and then I came back home. I think it was on Thursday. It was alright. I had just like a sore throat and stuff like that. And then on Saturday, which was the day of the first match we should play against BDS, I woke up completely like unable
Hmm.
to even jump on the computer. I mean, I'm not someone who would like try to reschedule and stuff like that if I could
Hmm.
eventually play. But I was just so dead, and I was like a huge fever, kept coughing, stuff like that. So I asked if it was possible to reschedule the match, and they agreed. It was quite a long discussion in the end to find something that was okay for BDS and okay for us.
Hmm.
And at the same time, we asked to reschedule with the seniors, who were super nice as well. Like they were really easy to deal with, and Kappa and Twin, like shout out to them because they would.
Hmm.
It was super nice from them. Like they pretty much tried to arrange me and us in a way. So yeah, they were super nice with that. Both teams, honestly, but Sinners extremely cool. And yeah, in the end, we had to play one match on Friday and 2 other matches on Sunday, which was not ideal, but still much better than if I had to play sick.
Yeah, of course, health comes first and all that. And missing the Super Week put you guys in the kind of mega Super Week. You can call it 3 matches in one weekend. You guys ended up, I think, with a score of 1-2, winning against Sinners, losing to Big and VDS. And that missing the Super Week also put you guys on the lower seed in those 3 matches. Do you feel like that had an impact on the outcomes of the matches?
No, I don't think so. Especially because I still think we had an advantage for not playing the first week, because people couldn't know our like best maps and stuff like that. Especially against Sinners. Like honestly, it was normal against them to be lower seed because they never saw us play while we could. We tried to stay fair play and not like target ban their maps and stuff like that. We tried to be cool and just do our own picks and just play it fair play, But still, we had an advantage despite having the lower seed, especially against Sinners, maybe a bit against Big, but when it came to BDS, surely not, because we still played matches before, so they could see what we played. But yeah, it probably didn't change anything in the result. They were just better than us. They played good. We were a bit weak at some points, but yeah.
Well, that actually reminds me that you guys weren't playing the Super Week, so it means that you guys saw the other teams play. Did you guys pick up some strats from the other teams over this week that you saw?
There's one thing that we learned from the first week. We had everything else, but the only thing that we learned was the grass slide line on Vortex.
I knew it.
We didn't have that, and when we saw it, I remember like trying to go on the computer like 2 hours later after the steps were over because I felt like playing, and I tried to grass slide for like 3 minutes and I was still sick, so I was just like sweating, couldn't do shit, and I came back like 2 days later trying to figure out how it works. And I like the strat. Like it's smart. It's honestly super smart because the gear there is a bit weird. Like if you do the, let's say, normal line, I didn't really feel like it. It's not necessarily faster, but it's still good, like for consistency and stuff. So I like the line. And from talking to like other players as well, like from G1, from Solari, people like that, I knew that not everyone would do it. Not everyone liked it. And I like the fact that I could use a line that's not really used by the others, Even if it's not necessarily the best, it's still pretty nice. I like that.
It definitely looks cool from the observers, from the viewers'
I think so.
side.
I think so.
Yeah.
And it's a good map for me as well now. Like I like the map because of the grass slide. Didn't really enjoy it before because it was like the key part of the map, and it made the key part of the map enjoyable for me.
And how do you feel overall about your performance? Stat-wise, it looks like you guys are in the middle of the pack. Otak a bit more consistent than you, but both putting up some respectable times.
I think we have a good pace. We lack some consistency and we lack synchronization. Like whenever I crash, Otak is doing good. Whenever he crashes, I'm doing good. So the matches tend to be quite long. At least the maps tend to be quite long. Like we get many draws in a map every time, but we can't really score points, which is a struggle to win maps, honestly. Like it's not ideal. But yeah, I think Otak is doing pretty good. I feel like we're almost better than last season, even though we don't perform as good. But yeah, there's a little problem we have is that he's good on maps where I'm not good, and I'm good on maps where he's not really good. So I can save maps, he can save maps, but it's hard to win them.
I wanted to ask you, last stage, you told me that you weren't on comms with each other. Has that changed now with the implementation of tactical timeouts? And also, do you feel like comms might actually help you with synchronization?
Actually, we didn't even use tactical timeouts except like to fix issues, like hardware issues. But no, we decided to start calling during the rounds, like be on voice chat. Which is indeed a major change since last season, because we didn't talk at all except between the maps. We tried that during ETC, the LAN event in Paris. We went there and we tried to call and see how it goes. It went pretty well, but it was still not really like we weren't used to it basically. But we worked on it, and so far I think it's pretty good. Like it's probably helping us, and it will surely help us in the long term because it's necessary to give calls and stuff like that. But we still need to work on it, I think. But it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. We give good calls. We respect them. We listen to each other. We don't rage or anything. Like it's pretty nice. I think it works well.
I was wondering though, how do tactical timeouts work for you guys since you don't have a coach? I think I saw that once Otak called for it and it was granted. I thought the team needed to have a coach to use that. Is that not the case for you guys?
No, it's not the case. We can use tactical timeouts, which I think is fair because
Yeah.
I mean, not every org will get coaches. We can use them. Honestly, I don't know how they work. Because I feel like we need to type like exclamation mark tac, in
Yeah,
the chat, but then it's just SRK clicking some buttons. Like it's not even automatic or whatever. So, I mean, I don't know how it works, but it's pretty much like having 30 seconds to speak before the map starts, which is like an extended warm up.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, in my opinion, it's not really useful the way it is right now. Like it's quite pointless. I would like to have tactical timeouts in the maps. Then you can like cut the other team's momentum. Like there would be strategy in that. You can like fix your issues, talk about what your teammate is doing wrong. Like I could coach Otak about what he's doing wrong, or he could do the same thing for me on some maps. Like it would be useful in maps, but not between maps.
Definitely.
But again, I would think it's an issue if coaches would be able to speak in the maps. Like I think players should be able to talk in the map and have a break, but it would be quite unfair to know that teams have coaches and some don't. So I would limit like the coaches in between the maps, but the players could have a break in the map, if it makes sense.
Why do you think that coaches shouldn't be inside the like between rounds inside of a map?
Simply because we have strategies. There are different lines, different strats. Even though they're well known, like you can still adapt how you play. And I think it would suck if, for example, I don't know, like we play 2 rounds, the coach calls a break, and he just gives away everything the other team is doing, like pretty much. I think it would be unfair compared to the other team that has probably no information about the other players, except like the times you see at the bottom of the screen. So I think it would just unbalance pretty much the matches.
Yeah, I was thinking of a way, like in the meantime, like how coaches could have like restricted vision to just their team, but I don't think that is. I don't know if that there's a way to do that, but other than that,
there is probably a way, but I'm not sure if they want to try.
I mean,
but that would be pretty good.
Because I just think that this idea of implementing tactical timeouts in between the rounds inside of a map is actually very cool, and I think it would be a nice way to implement some strategy into those matches. But yeah, I guess for now there's no way. There's just not an option for that.
There's something. I've talked about it with Carl. I think he's fine with me saying it now in an interview. But there was a map on Vortex. He played Vortex recently, like probably his last match, and Pac couldn't do the identity. Like he couldn't do it. And during the first round, Carl told him to not finish the round and keep trying. So when he finished his run, he could spectate Pac and like give him tips like go more to the left, go more to the right. You're doing that wrong. You're doing that right. Like in this span of 15 seconds. And I think it could be nice to have like a tactical timeout just to do that, and don't have to like use the 15 last seconds of a round and just make the match a bit weird for the viewers and stuff like that. Like just have a break and be able to coach your teammate.
To be honest, I think it's still pretty smart what he did. I mean,
I
didn't know that happened, but yeah.
It's smart. It's the only way he could do it right now. Honestly, it's the only way.
Yeah, I'm kind of impressed.
He was right. He was right to do that, and I think we all do that. Like for example, myself, I know that if I'm like playing bad, I will wait at the end of the map and not finish the round just to get this 15 seconds just to have a break and try to breathe, because that's the only time where we can have like a tactical break without really typing it, you know.
Mm-hmm. And
So
out of curiosity, is there like a plan on having a coach sooner in the future? And would you even want a coach in your team?
I think coaching on Trackmania is pretty weird, because you can have like either a coach that helps you on the lines and what you have to do in game and check the other team's lines, and like it's just technical. And I think for a coach to do that, there is not a lot that could be able to coach TMGL players, honestly. Like it's a hard job because it's only
Yeah.
details. There could be a coach that could help us like mentally, like in the match, tell us to, I mean, stuff that could motivate us and help us to win. I think that could be useful for us. And obviously, ideally, we'd have a coach that makes like the map version, so we don't have to waste time in the editor.
Yeah.
And I mean, just it's just a bit of a waste of time doing that. It always takes hours at the start of the seasons. So we don't intend to have a coach for now. We don't really see anyone that could do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think it's that useful. Like I know for a fact that some teams have coaches that like organize scrims instead of the players, and they just like pretty much do their schedule. But I think it's not too hard to deal with that ourselves. Like it's only 5 minutes in a day to try to sort it out, you know.
All right. Then moving on to the last point. Next matchup will be definitely intense. You guys are going against G1, a team that definitely is fast, but lately have shown some weakness with Binks not performing up to par and Gwen carrying some of the matches. What's the confidence level of K-Corp before the match?
It's hard to tell, because indeed they're not the greatest recently, but to my eyes, they beat the best team of the league. They beat Alliance. So for me right now, hands down, Alliance is the strongest team with G1. Big being close to them, right behind, to me at least. So I mean, they could literally stomp us. It could be a close match as well, or we could win. It's so hard to tell against them. If I look at the past season, well, we get clapped. But hopefully we do good. It's hard to tell. Honestly, we don't really like think about it. We just prac. We see how it goes during the match. Don't get tilted if we lose. It's like a marathon. We need to be good every week. It's not too bad if we lose against G1. It sucks, but it's not over. Like the season is not over.
Well,
We'll
then,
see.
thank you for the interview. Do you have any short message to the fans?
Well, I appreciate the support as always. Thanks to everyone watching the league, either on Camelo's channel or other channels. Thank you to the people who bet channel points on our wins. Hopefully, we make you win points at some points. But yeah, I appreciate the support as always. Shout out to Otak, who's been doing pretty good this season as well. I'm confident that he's gonna be great. He likes the maps and he will be good. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Thank you, and thanks for the interview.
I'm sorry, my dogs are freaking out, but someone came back for the health. Let me. Let's go.
You should keep that in the interview.
I'm gonna for sure. And to all the viewers, you can find all the links to Bren's socials in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed, I invite you to leave a like and subscribe for more interviews in the future. Thank you very much.